5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's obviously the first time we've spoken to you. So I guess first of all, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a difficult time for all of us, but from a personal point of view, an interesting one as well, because I never had a situation like this. Never was that long at home, and so from a personal point of view, I'm really good, but like everybody else, concerned about the situation around us, of course.
As I said, it is the first time we've spoken to you, and you said there yourself, it's something that we've never experienced before. It's unprecedented. Can you give us an insight into that last day at Melwood, so that the day when the team left Melwood for a couple of weeks? What was that day like?
Oh, look, it's like this. It feels like it's 2 weeks ago, but it feels like it's ages ago. We played Atletico. That Thursday was off. I remember. So we all knew about the situation with Corona around the world, but we were still in our tunnel, if you want. Until then, it didn't really arrive in our mind here in England. And so we played the Bournemouth game on Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, we won it. Sunday, City lost. So the information for us was 2 games to go, 2 games to win. And then on Monday morning, I woke up and heard about the situation in Madrid, that they close from Wednesday on the schools and the universities. So it was really strange to prepare that game, to be honest. I usually don't struggle with things around me. Like, I can build barriers right and left when I prepare a game, but and that moment was really difficult. So Wednesday we had the game. I loved the game. I loved what I saw from the boys. It was a really, really good performance with the result, and we didn't score often enough. We conceded too many. That's all clear. But between these two main informations, it was a brilliant game. Thursday off, and Friday, when we arrived, it was already clear this is not a session. This will be yes, we trained, but it was a meeting more.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to think about, things I never thought before in my life about. Nobody knows exactly how it will go on, and so it was the only thing what we could do to organize it as good as possible for the boys, and make sure that everything is sorted as much as we can sort it in our little space, in a little area where we are responsible, really. And that's what we did in a very short time. And then we sent the boys home, went home ourselves, and here we are still.
You've given a lot of team talks, and you've spoken to a lot of players, a lot of teams in your career, but obviously I imagine this one was much more difficult given the circumstances.
Yeah, usually I understand much more of the things I'm talking about, to be honest. So how could I explain the situation around Corona? No chance. It's that. Look, I'm in my job, in my life. I face a lot of problems, completely different problems to the one we have now, but problems anyway. And I'm a completely solution-orientated person. I'm not really interested in the problem usually. I take it as an information, and I immediately work on the solution. And in this case, no chance for me, no chance for anybody in the short term. It will be sorted. We all know that, but not in the short term. So what could I really know about? And so yes, the meeting was. I had the same amount of questions like the boys couldn't answer, but we did meanwhile. So we spoke a couple of times. We have a really intense, big group chat. Whole Melwood is in that. Boys are really lively in that. Boys are really they're just interested in what everybody's doing. Comments to everything what anybody's doing, if Ox is on Instagram or whatever. So that helps a lot. So the mood is good. The mood is good. It's a challenge for all the people, and we know it's that we live, of course, in a very that our life is still good. There are so many people out there that have much bigger problems. So it feels really embarrassing for myself if I would talk about my problems. I don't have any. I have the problems every person in the world has in a moment, and that's the lesson we learn in this moment. 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think we all thought, or it looked like pretty much a lot of countries thought, that's our problem, that's our problem, that's our problem, we have problem with them and stuff like this. And now the world or the nature shows us we're all the same, and we have all the same problem in the same moment, and we have to work together on a solution. So there's nothing good in that situation apart from maybe what we can learn from that.
Obviously, on that Friday, you put out a message to our supporters, and within the letter you stated that health is much more important than football. Obviously, you would have been going through a range of emotions that day, but you felt it was the right message to send.
It was the only message to send, because I think it's common sense. It's common sense, but I understand. Again, I understand very well that I'm a football manager. That's the job I always wanted. It's from the outside perspective, it's a big job. People expect us to be leaders, smart, stuff like this. Maybe a few of us are. I'm not sure, but it's more important in this moment. I spoke as the manager of LFC, but as a completely normal guy as well, because in this moment, even when football is in a lot of parts of my life, it was my first concern, but not in this moment. And I wanted to make sure that people know that, and maybe they can see it in the same way. In this moment, we have the chance as human beings. Okay, let me say it like this. If we are in the future, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, if we look back, and we will look back, and if then the conclusion or the resume would be, that was the period where the world showed the biggest solidarity, the biggest love, the biggest friendship, whatever, that would be great. That would be really great. And so in the moment when you go through a phase or a period like this, it's not possible to see that, especially not for the people who are ill and stuff like this. But there will be a point in the future, a moment in the future, when we look back, and then hopefully we can see it like this, because that's the solution for it. We all have to be disciplined. We all have to work together. We all have to take care for each other. And that's the solution for this problem. And that's why we are at home. Not all of us. A lot of people are working out there still. Health services in the supermarkets, incredible. All these people are doing the jobs. Police and thousands to make sure that we can stay at home. All these things. I just wanted to use common sense to once more, to explain my view.
Just as a human being, how much admiration do you have for those people who can't stay at home, who are out working?
Yeah, I couldn't. My English is not good enough. My English is just not good enough to say it. It's extraordinary. It's great. I know. I think yesterday was it yesterday? Matt McCann sent me a video of the people in the hospital. On the one side, the people were outside, probably the intensive care area, and when they sing "You Never Walk Alone," I started crying immediately. It's unbelievable, but it shows everything. These people don't only work; they have such a good spirit. They are used to help other people. We need to get used to it, because usually we have our own problems and all that stuff. So, but that's their job. They do it day in and day out. And that's in the morning they go in. They are not ill by themselves. They are not in danger, but they bring themselves, if you want, in danger, because they help ill, sick, seriously handicapped people and stuff like this. So I couldn't admire it more. Really, I couldn't, and appreciate it more.
Just a little bit closer to home, you're talking about how you know people are still going to work at the club. We have two kind of community initiatives. We have the LFC Foundation and the Red Neighbours. Obviously, how they interact with the community has changed drastically, but they're still doing everything they can to support the community, and it's something special for the club, isn't it? That.
Look, I think that in the moment a lot of wonderful things happen out there. So we as a club, we have to do. This club is, we all know this. It's fans for other clubs will not love it, but this is a special club. This is special people working here and all these kind of things. So I'm not surprised that we react in a lot of moments very, very with a big heart, and I love that. And all these things, what all these different parts of our club did over the years, if it's a foundation or food banks or stuff like this, that's incredible. But I know other clubs are doing this well, and just football clubs show responsibility. I like that, really. I like that a lot, and that's what we all do. That's what we all do. As we have to, yeah. In moments like this, the first thing you have to be is generous. Generous with words, generous with feelings, and generous with money, of course, as well. And that's what we all do. That's clear. Wherever we can help, we try to help 100%.
Just a word on your backroom staff. Obviously, you've always spoken about how important they are to everything we do as a club, and you know I can imagine this is just as much of a test for them as it is for anyone else at the club. What can you say about in the way they've reacted and adjusted to this situation?
First and foremost, I have to say, not only backroom stuff, I miss everybody. I just miss everybody. It's 2 weeks and I'm not on holiday. So usually you are then somewhere, I don't know, and that's not a moment where you miss your the backroom staff or your colleagues, stuff like this. But at the moment, really desperately, we miss each other. We really like working together, and we have a lot of contact with in WhatsApp groups and phone calls, FaceTime, WhatsApp, whatever. So we see each other a lot, but not like we want to or like we are used to. But they do still an incredible job. So that what Mona and Emma is doing, and together with all the chefs, we still involved. So we have the boys. Look. Yes, we have all the same problems, but there are some special problems on top of that. Is that we have the players, and it's difficult for football players. Like it's difficult for me to go just normal shopping. So we have to shopping in a food shopping. We have to social distancing. We try that. So we have to organize it. What Mona is doing there is incredible. It's just incredible. Well, more really, it's highest level. I don't find the right words for that as well. What Connie is doing with the fitness guys, how inventive they are with different things what we can use. Of course, we do the stuff as well, like we're all together, do the same thing in the same moment. It's all possible technical-wise, meanwhile. But they have their own program. They send videos. They give challenges and all that stuff. What we had a difficult situation in the medical department as well, and we changed. Andy Messi left to the FIFA, and then Jim Moxon jumped in, if you want, like from nowhere, together with Sarah Lindsay. They are doing an incredible job and getting all these informations. You can imagine, you go in isolation. You hear from outside, so the first signs is maybe a sore throat. The first sign is a little bit of a headache. So who can say he didn't wake up the next morning after getting these information and felt a slightly sore throat and felt a slight headache? That's like how human beings are. And we had that as well. And so these kind of things. And then you call a dog. You're used to call a dog in these situations. So they had to calm down. Lee Richardson, the psychologist, of course. All the physiotherapists are not that busy in the moment, hopefully, anymore, because it's not allowed that they go in and do the stuff with the players. But they're all doing. Ray Huff organized all the stuff around together with Louise. So it's just really incredible. So we do still the same without meeting and without training together. And of course, it's what we love to do, but we respect absolutely 100% the situation and want to play our part in it.
Just on the WhatsApp group you mentioned earlier and the social media posts being put in, what have you made of some of the things the lads are doing to keep themselves entertained? Obviously, we've seen Millie cutting the grass, we've seen Ox dancing. It's been quite amusing.
I didn't cut the grass, but I tried to dance of Ox.
How was it?
Worked out. Yeah, not as bad as you probably think. So look, very important in these times that we all show we take the situation serious, but we cannot do it without, we are human beings. In a moment we are at home, and when you are at home, you cannot do something to help outside or whatever. So we are not health workers. We are not. We don't work in a supermarket. So you have to keep your own mood up, and you have to keep the mood up for other people. And if the boys do anything on Instagram, as long as it's in a legal frame, I'm overly happy about that. This just shows they have chill. They are still cheeky and all that stuff, and I like it. So all these things are really funny. Yeah, that's good.
On a similar note, I know you're not on social media, but you've said in the past you kind of like to look at fan videos. Have you had a little look at some of the things online from our supporters?
I'm not sure. But what kind of videos? I saw that Paul has corona, right?
Sorry?
Paul has corona from
Redmond TV.
Yeah, I think. I heard that, if I'm right.
Yeah.
So he was at least really ill. So I saw that a little bit, but no, I didn't watch a lot of videos. I watched a few movies. I watched the Taken trilogy again. To be honest, that's how it is. You do a lot of things what you usually don't do, and that's it. I'm still in that period. It's 2 weeks is long, but it's not that long. And but which kind of videos did they do? I have a look afterwards.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of compilation videos and people bringing together kind of everyone's goals and just all the best moments of the last couple of years. Because people are reflecting.
I have them still here. So I will never forget the best moments we had in the last few years. So I'm up to date if you want. Yeah.
And just lastly, Jürgen, obviously, it goes without saying we all miss football right now, but it's absolutely crucial that everybody follows the government's advice, isn't it? And that's the most important thing right now.
So we said it now often enough, and I think everybody knows it. Yeah, football is not the most important thing in the world, 100% not. In this moment, it's clear what it is. But the only way to get football back as soon as possible, and if that's what the people want, the more disciplined we are now, the earlier we will get piece by piece by piece our life back. That's how it is. There's no other solution. In the moment, nobody has another solution. We have to be disciplined by ourselves. We have to keep the distance to other people. We can still do some things, not a lot, but we have to just to calm down a little bit with the things. Yes, outside economy has to carry on, stuff like this. That will start again. But the more the lower the number will be when we go out again, the number of the people who are infected, that's what I understand, the better it is. It will not be like nobody anymore after the next 2 weeks, but the curve will flatten. That's the most important thing. We have to give our people in the hospitals, our doctors, the chance to treat the people with serious issues with full concentration. We have to give people time to build ventilators. We have to give people time to find solutions. There will be a moment when other smart people find a vaccine for the virus, and all these moments. But until then, we have to make sure that we do the best possible for all the people out there. You hear now more and more, it's not only elder, not only weak and all this up. If it would be only elder, would be only weaker, we have to do what we have to do. But it's not only. There are younger people involved as well who can die of it as well. So, but it's not about that. It's really about just show heart and a bit of sensibility, and do the right thing. Stay at home as long as we have to, and then at one point we will play football again as well, 100%. I couldn't wish more for it, because for a few really good reasons, how you can imagine. I can't wait actually, but even I have to be disciplined, and yes, I try to be as much as I can.